Well, welcome, welcome. So we are here today. I'm talking with Simona Herb, who is the main organizer of emotionally focused therapy in Romania. And we have some questions that we've been getting from externship and core skill participants, and perhaps some people are interested in emotionally focused therapy and doing that in Romania. So welcome, Simona. So glad to have you here.
Hello, thank you so much for joining and helping us to make a sense from EFT and our path for getting EFT therapists.
Yeah, it's very exciting to have emotionally focused therapy going forward in Romania. We've had very successful externship and two groups of core skills that are going through, and maybe many people who are watching this, maybe you're a core skill participant or an externship, someone who's already been to an externship, but we want to answer some questions. And one of the first questions is about the tradition of taping couple therapy sessions and how we go about doing that. And Simona, that was very new for you when you started with emotionally focused therapy. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, indeed. In the beginning, I thought it's impossible to do such a thing because I didn't think that it will be the couples will allow me to tape. It's not so common in Romania, even for therapists. It's not so common to tape. So you can feel in the beginning that will be impossible to make this homework. Let's say, I mean, to meet the criteria because yeah, it's this fear and I tried, and first I didn't succeed, but then with other couples they gave me this allowance. Hmm.
So you tried a couple of different things or a couple different approaches, perhaps. And one of the things is that it's really can be so intimidating or scary to ask couples in the beginning to do this when we think that they're going to say no. So, how did you deal with that, Simona?
Yeah, so first I thought anyway they will leave the therapy. Actually, I will have no couple. So this was my fear that stopped me even from asking. And then I asked them. Was not so bad as I thought. I just told them because I need to get supervised and the people from USA they will help me to understand better your problems and to help you better. And I guess I made them say that nobody else will see but just therapists what they say. And as well USA therapy, that means it's very very far away. And they agreed actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing a couple of things that you did that are also similar when I started taping couples, things that I did. And of course, I supervise many therapists around around the world to get started doing this. And you're saying some things that are really important. One is that you let them know that it would help them, that other therapists and couple experts, um, therapists would be kind of on the team helping them, helping you help them. And so in many ways that's just so important for couples to know that, and also that it's safe, right? So that one, that it's safe, it's going to be kept confidential, that only other qualified therapists will see it, and in many cases it will be a supervisor or consultants, um, that are going to help them and help you, that it's more about you than it is about them and the way that you're helping them, so that it's safe and that it's going to be very useful to them. It can also be, you can also, kind of play around with those two things in the way of safety and in the way of letting them know that it's going to be helpful to them. And that the confidentiality release that they sign is one of them, letting them know who else you would show it to, who your trainer or supervisor is, who your consultants are, and And if you don't need to let them know who those people are, but you can let them know that a guideline is that if anyone does know them, that they wouldn't be permitted to see that tape, that it's only for people that wouldn't be in their own circle or people that they would run across at the grocery store or at church or something like that, that it won't be, if another therapist did know them, that they would not be permitted to see the tape. So that's one thing. If they have questions about that you may also have questions, that would be how we handle that. And then I think that sense about that other people are helping, or other therapists and professionals are helping, this is like them getting another therapist for free. It's no charge to them to get this additional help. We think about it in medical terms, it's like a second opinion that you as the therapist are doing what another qualified therapist or even someone more advanced than you in couple therapy would say, this is the way you handle that. So it's an enriched second opinion, another set of eyes or a group of eyes that will help you. And then another thing that you can do is you can let them know that if and when you do share that video, that you can get back to them with feedbacks or what the suggestions were, so that it's a very transparent process. Anything about that, Simona, that kind of comes to your mind as I'm talking that you want to add?
Yes, that I notice that they are really flattered when you tell them that actually you want another opinion just to make sure that they are good and they are in good hands and they will get all the help that they could have, which is flattering and encouraging. And what you said that we can come back to them with a feedback. This makes them curious and as well interested in the process of getting feedback. Yeah, because they know what other people which are specialists think about their case, if they have hope to be better, what, when, yeah, so this is really helping.
Oh, that's such a great point about the couple's response, because most of the time you may have a couple now and then who are, you know, afraid or say no. But most of the time, in my experience, in helping other people do this, is that couples are, flattered or appreciative. Like, oh, really? You're going to spend your money and your extra time reviewing our case so that you can come back and help us even more. It's kind of an unheard of thing for this extra service that they get. It really is a big extra service to them. And their response is often recognizing that it's an extra thing that they're not paying for, and that it feels like you're really caring about me. You're really caring about our case. And it's very encouraging. Like, then we have even the more opportunity, the more we can put more hope into this therapy because of the extra help that we're getting. Okay, so um, let's see. That, one of the questions that comes up, Simona, it has to do with that we're assuming that people have couples to say, I would like to video you. I'd like to tape this and get some consultation and learn and improve my own skill in helping you, and get a team behind me in doing this and get that second opinion. But we're assuming that people have couples when we do that. But when you started, though, you were really trained as an individual therapist, and it's not that common for couples to seek couple therapy because it hasn't been a highly specialized known specialty in Romania. So let's talk about that a little bit, getting couples in the door.
Yes, that's true. Actually, it was a time when I had no couple that searched for me. Everybody was searching for individual help, even if they had, let's say, couple problems. but they thought they will solve it individual, each in his. So, for instance, they were husband and wife, and each of them they were getting individual help from different therapists. So this was uh, okay for me when I was systemic therapist. Was not okay when I started to practice EFT, because I needed the couples, but as well because I started to believe that they could get better help if they are together, and I
Yeah,
could
that they
really
get better
see.
faster and the help is more, that they'll actually get better faster when they're together in the room.
Yes, and I could see, once I could see this, I could make transparent and clear for them too, and I motivate them to come together. So this was one way to get couples in the room. Actually, they started as individual. I mean, one of the partners came to me as an individual, and when I discovered that actually it was an attachment problem, the loss of connection, I mean, all the sadness and depression came from this. I strongly encouraged and I explained the view, the approach, how could the things that they come together could help them so much more and so fast. And I use a metaphor. I said individual works okay, but it's like when you break the pedal and you reach the a better speed when you are together, and they come together. This is one way that I could have couples in therapy.
That's a great way to use a metaphor and to talk to the individual, especially they're talking about their relationship problem with you, right? So to say, oh, I can really help your relationship if your partner comes in. Two of you together, it's going to be much more effective. But sometimes, and so that works for a lot of individuals to then invite their partner into therapy. Sometimes they say, oh, my partner wouldn't like it, or how do I address that with my partner? And of course they might use the metaphor that you gave them, but there may be some other things that are helpful in that invitation to bring their partner in. What other things have you found?
Yes, I have found even in the problems that they were thinking that they are really individuals, they are just theirs from childhood, or and they were saying, how could my partner help me if it's a childhood thing, for instance. I speak with
Like, this
them.
is my problem, this is just my problem, how could my partner help, or why would they want to, maybe?
Yes, or I am not functioning. I am bad, and it's enough that I destroy the relationship. I don't want now. I get healthy, and then I go into the relationship. But then we speak from the attachment point of view, and I explain that actually when you heal, even if they are past wounds, when somebody holds your hand, it's much better. And as well, they don't need, this is what another thing that I say, they don't need to go with what they make in the session and to say a story to the partner, and he gets or he doesn't get or she doesn't get exactly, and they are not at the same level. Coming together, they know actually the same thing, and they go with the same growth experience at home. So they don't need to say, oh, I it was so cool in the session or so painful, but I cannot tell you about this because I don't have the words. And this is as well encouraging, saying, okay, let's try if it will be like this or not. And actually the partners want to know what happens with the other in the session.
That's so true. If your partner, if you have a partner who's going to therapy, you want to know. And many times it's such a gap, like it's so hard to talk about or to share or to know how to bring up for those individuals to share in their relationship. And the partner really does want to know, wants to be included. And so that invitation to join them for their own therapy is also another way. Come, I'm working with my therapist, my therapist would like you to come. and thinks that it will help me, your presence will help me, and there's some things that we can do together that will be helpful as well. So that's a great approach. They can approach it either with many of my problems have to do with wanting to have more contact with you. I'd like us to come, or my therapist suggests that we come together and see if there's things that we can work on together. And then that other way about, I do have stuff that I'm working on, and I'd like you to be included in that, are really great ways to invite partners in. And sometimes we then have the reluctant partner, right? I mean, most of the time when an individual invites their partner in, they will come. Sometimes when that negative cycle has been going on between them for a long time, the partner may be the more withdrawing partner who isn't in therapy. Sometimes the more withdrawing partner comes for help when they feel like it's all their fault. But many times, and especially men, are more reluctant to come to therapy because their sense is, I'm going to get blamed again. It's going to be my fault. I'm just going to hear what I'm doing wrong. So sometimes we do have reluctant partners who are kind of afraid to come to therapy. They don't want to be made out to be the bad guy. So in that case, I want to hear from you too what you've done successfully. One of the approaches that I've taken to that is I myself have called the partner and said, "Hey, I've been working, with your husband or wife or with your partner, and it would really help me to get your perspective on what's going on. I need some more eyes on what's happening so I can help your partner, and I'd really love for you to come in and lective." And then through the course of that individual time with the partner, they get to know me, get to know the attachment perspective I'm coming from, can start to feel comfortable. They've made that kind of breakthrough. What's happening in the therapy office? What's a therapy office look like? You know, they've kind of made that breakthrough and made a connection with us and are caring about them and their perspective. And then that invitation to, how about coming back with your partner? So you have some similar concerns and complaints that your partner has, and I think it'd be helpful to see the two of you together. Are there some other ways you've handled that, Simona?
Yes, I'm happy anyway that you said that you can call the partner, because can be a fear of us. Should I interfere or not? It's my business. Is it legal? Where is the boundary? And how do I do it? So I'm very happy that you touched this subject. And as well, I don't call, but I uh, especially when the man is reluctant, I put the problem as come to help me, because to understand more and to see both of perspectives, because the men are more willing to help. Yeah, I mean, they react better to the helping invitation. So it's not about actually about you, or let's say let's try one session and help me to have a better view on you. So, and actually it works. I mean, the men are reluctant in the beginning, but after the first session they are willing to come back.
Yes. Once they know that they're not going to be blamed and it's not just all about them doing something wrong, because the couple perspective that we take is so generous and looking at the pattern, and really that first session with the partner, you do want to understand, we're always want to understand each partner's perspective. And so finally they kind of like, oh, I have a voice and I can help, and somebody cares about what I think about this, about what's going on. That yes, I then once they've come, I think it's very, very easy to have them reschedule to come back. Yeah, so that's great. So Simona, we were just going to do kind of a short time today, and maybe what we can do is come back for part two, where we talk about some of the technical things around setting up equipment, and also some of the technical things around those first sessions, like what questionnaires do you use, and um, what the confidentiality papers look like, and we can have links for those things that we can share with people, and also that they can ask questions as well. So let's break and do a part two a little bit later. How would that be?
Yes, this is a good idea. Just one thing I want to say as well about, let's not forget that we can have free therapy as well to
Oh
offer,
yes, right. Like when you're trying to get started seeing couples, you can invite them in. Yeah.
which I did for a while, and it was great because it was really helpful, and there were people that really wanted maybe couple therapy, but they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And so it's, I mean, was not, how to say, even shaming for me or anything, or they didn't think less about me. Even they were very, very grateful that I gave them this opportunity.
More
So
appreciative.
not forget about free therapy as well.
Yes. Yeah, they're more appreciative. I did that too when I was getting started. I saw some couples for free, and then I also charged very low. And it was actually out of my own insecurity that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody will want to pay for this. I don't even deserve to charge for this because I don't know what I'm doing. So I actually came from it out of a shame, out of my own shame of doing, of like, I don't want to charge because I don't think it's valuable. I mean, I'm afraid that I don't know what I'm doing. I wouldn't recommend that. Like, I hope you're not coming from that sense of shame or insecurity, but it did give me couples, and then my confidence did grow. But it is such a service to even have, if we're not very good at the uh, intricacies kind of working with couples or doing emotionally focused therapy, following the model, it's such a service just to have the attachment perspective and try to figure out the cycle and be able to have both people in the room talking about where they get stuck. um, Couples will give us so much um, grace, so much room to learn and to grow and to work with them, because they can see and feel us trying to help them. And they will be so appreciative, whether they're paying full fee or whether you're, especially when you're inviting them, for free. And you can have a case or two. You don't want to fill up your whole caseload that way because you also have to earn a living. But to have a couple couples that you can really just to get you started in it, and to have a way to start to develop the expertise by actually having people you're working with. Yeah. Okay, so we hope to meet again before too long, Simona, and kind of do part B where we answer some of the technical side of things as well.
Yes, we do that.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much for joining me and for your leadership in Romania, in bringing emotionally focused therapy there, and for including me in this really fantastic, fun, and exciting revolution that we're helping to bring forward, emotionally focused therapy in Romania. So have a great rest of the day, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you in person. Well, we'll be together again on a webinar, but I'll see you in person for the next training. We have core skills coming up, and that will be very fun to see you then as well.
Yes, thank you so much for helping me to the revolution in Romania.
All right. And thanks everyone for viewing and for being here. And go ahead and you can ask us questions in the chat box, even if you're picking this up as a replay. We'll respond. So thanks so much. Bye
Thank
now.
you. Bye bye.